Yo, 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 yo. First off, how's the volume of the music? Is it too loud or too quiet? Or is it just right? Good morning, Money Lisa. First message I read is, can you play Dreaming on repeat? Good morning, good morning, good morning. It's quiet. Here, let me try this. That should fix it. Morning, Randy. Morning, Michael, Matthew, John, Mel, Alan. Good morning to everybody. What's up, Daffy? Good morning, World Traveler, Miguel, Ben, Jorge, Mel. Alright, so let's get into this. So, first off, we're getting a pump, of course. We're on a post-jobs report move right now. But the main area that price needed to get past was this area here. Again, you can hear I'm using past tense. It's really kind of a combination of the meat of the hive yesterday and the wick of the hive yesterday that price really needed to get past. So this is going to be the area they need to hold over to continue higher. Of course, if we don't just keep pumping and we get a retest first, where do they want to retest? They're probably going to want to retest there. You also have previous day open. Previous day close is basically marked. Previous day low basically marked. So big key area to watch today is going to be the previous day highs. So if we continue pushing, let's say we reject 400.60s, we need to come retest this area, bounce off of it. If we invalidate, we'll see a sell-off under it. If we want to just continue higher, regardless of a retest or not, that comes first, 400.60s is right there in front of us. So we have two really good clean areas to watch today. On the bigger time frames, it's a different story. On the bigger time frames, I cleaned it up a little bit. Oh, it's doing that thing again. If you guys ever have that problem where you use your pan tool a lot, and then as you go to click to another tool, it won't switch back, just go down to the bottom right side, or right click, and change your drawing, or whatever you're trying to use. Like in this case, I'd want to switch it to the price level tool, because I don't want it to keep using the pan tool over and over. Sometimes it does that while you're trying to like go through it quicker. But bigger time frame wise, basically they need to defend this 396 level today. If not, then they will be retesting kind of the wick lows of these 2 days and the low of the move. So I'd kind of keep this area on watch if we do ever break 396.30s. Just kind of keep that in mind. A hold of 396.30s can send us back and most likely fill halfway of this candle here. So let's do a quick easy little fib. We'll go from open to close of that candle, and it kind of lines up with 401.50. So we'll just leave it there. But let's highlight this though. Let's highlight this to here. And then we'll highlight those wicks again, from that wick to the low of this move here. We'll highlight it a little bit over to the right a little bit. There we go. So I'd say this is kind of our range for right now. If we do get a move to the upside, on the smaller time frames, they break up. I would say 401.50s to about 402.25 is where we're headed. If we do get a bullish reaction today, if we get kind of some bigger seller move today, we're most likely headed to at least test this area here. So we'll keep that in mind. We understand what's going on in the bigger time frame as well as the smaller time frame. We're not just sitting here freaking out. So I'm going to type this up, but let me know if that makes sense, guys, on the bigger and smaller time frame. Let me know if that helps you out with direction today. There we go. Covered all my bases. I was adding in the towards areas, the 401.50, 402.25. We looked at the bigger time frame. All right, so I like that a lot actually. We'll go ahead and leave that there. Now let's go through these and we'll see which ones are our favorites, which ones do we not like, which ones have a really good level around them, which don't. Thank you, BB. Was able to negotiate a better commission on TOS after listening to you discuss a few streams back. Oh, nice. Good stuff, man. Well, they lower you to. Most people start off at 0.65, so I'm going to assume they dropped you to at least 0.50. Which 0.50 is totally fine. But Apple looks just like SPY. A lot of these are reacting to the jobless report that came out. Good job, Traveler. Thank you for posting that. He said, good morning. Initial jobless claims were 211K versus 195K estimated. Good morning, Satchmo. How you doing, boss? What's up, Chad? What's up, Sonia? What's up, Big Lou? What's up, Spicy Pepper? What's up, Divert? Good morning, Chloe. Tesla's not a bad one, to be honest. I know it looks weird, but they're not a bad one. Previous day close right there. Previous day lows are right here, basically. They're passing that. Let's see. What's the true area of... This is the true low of day. True area of demand's right there. So they need to really get above 181.15. And by that point, you might as well just wait for that area. Alright, so I think I am going to mark this. 183 needs to be a target if it does break higher. That sucks, though. I wish it was kind of under this area still. We'll come back to it. But Tesla looks really, really good. I won't lie. I like how its pre-market's working. Meta. Ooh, they went down to that 3 area. That area that has 3 levels on it, pretty much. That's very clean. Ooh, yeah. Above 187 on Meta could look really good. Below 184.67 could be very bad for Meta. Microsoft, 266, 254. It's kind of their range right now. They look a little tired. So does Google. Could be looking above 94.70 on Google or below 93.60. Ooh, AMD looking good. 85.77. That'd be a beautiful breakout area. Could also just cheat and say this is your break below 84.13, just because this is where price kind of pushed up, held as support, and then, you know, regardless of where it went afterwards, when it came down, this is where it touched again, and then this is where it kind of just finished off. So if it was to ever come back through and break this support, that would be very bad for price. Also to the upside, 85.77, with that being the previous day high, passed over everything over here. Extended hour stayed under it, and even with this pump in the pre-market, they're still under it. So 85.77 is going to be a very, very solid breakout. I like that one a lot, though. It's probably my favorite one so far. Nvidia over 244. I think we saw that a couple weeks ago. Or we could look for under pre-market lows way down there. So we could say previous day closed a good short-term scalp to the downside target. 241.85, you could watch for a break of that down and then aim for like 240, I guess. That's not a bad one. And Netflix, they've been having a crazy couple days. I mean, they were, I gotta clean it up, but they were up down like crazily. Some stuff's just sideways, but Netflix is all over the place. Alright, so previous day high and close at the same level. Previous day open. Previous day low, grab the wick and the meat. That pretty much gets our pre-market. So 314.30 towards 316.40 is a good level, and then below 308.80 is a good level. Alright, so let's go back through these and we'll see which ones are our favorite, which ones do we want to add. But real quick, before I start adding them here in the next 2 minutes, let me know what is y'all's favorite ones that we've gone through just now. We've gone through and we've pretty much made a plan for up and downside on each of these charts. Now it's just about going through and adding it to the list. I think I'm already going to tell myself I want to add AMD. I'm pretty sure I'm going to make Tesla work. Probably going to add Meta. Those were definitely my favorite 3. Satch, I can definitely do that. That's a great idea. I didn't even think about that, to be honest. I can definitely do that. I'll start on it today. AMD, Tesla, Google. You like AMD the most? The mostest? Sorry. Some poots. Ooh, nice job, boo-boo. Oh, wait, I guess it's not nice job. I guess it depends which one you swung it on. Because there are some that are up, some are down. Alright, so let's add Apple's pre-market high. Let's just add the meat of it. Previous day high. We'll add the meat of it. Previous day close. Alright, so previous day close is a good level for Apple. Oh no, they have previous day open. Yeah, I'm not adding Apple today. That's just too many. There's too many levels. But 94.30s on Amazon could be a good level to the upside. To the downside, previous day open and close are covered by 93.50. But at that point, you might as well just wait for pre-market low. So yeah, probably pre-market low in 94.30s. Tesla, I am gonna make this one work. But yeah, Satchmo, good idea. Because yeah, there's a bunch of scalps I've taken. Some of them I've recorded, some of them I haven't, that weren't during stream. And you've seen me post the results of them in the Discord, but I didn't even once think about doing a video. Because that's probably the only way I could make it work to explain it to you. Because some of these trades are literally like a minute and 10 seconds. Some of these, like, I'm going heavy and I'm quick. I'm not waiting on anything. I call it the nerdy bicep approach because that's essentially how Devin has gotten his accounts the way they are now. It's just heavy and quick, no hesitation. So I'll definitely go over some stuff, how I enter, how I exit. I'll go over some of the trades I've taken. But yeah, I'll do that for the members. I'll start on that today, actually. I think that's a really good idea. What was I doing? Oh, yeah, Tesla.
The job is done.
All right, so Tesla, I'm kind of liking it over this pre-market high they have right here. But what I fear is that they're going to break that before open or within the first minute. So that's probably not a good choice.
Very strong headwind from the political left.
All right, we'll come back to it. We'll come back to it.
Democrats are pressuring the Fed to stray from its narrow mandate. Without, it's a page out of their same old progressive playbook. When they don't
I'm pretty sure it's like a 188.10 level here.
28. Congress, they turn to regulators.
Say 25.
And now Chair Powell looking at you and the Federal Reserve. President Biden's kowtowing.
Who do I have talking in the background? I don't have anybody talking in the background. There's music playing.
I urge you to reject the ideologues who put their social agenda ahead of economic prosperity. High prices continue to eat away at workers' wages and retirees' incomes. Since President Biden took office, we've experienced inflation at rates not seen since the late 70s.
Oh, it's playing that stupid. 80s. Hold up.
Inflation.
Hold up.
Rapidly decelerate.
I need to pause this. Yeah, there we go. I was like, what are y'all talking about? I don't have anybody in here. Y'all had me like turning around and shit, and like looking around, like what the hell's going on? Well, hey, at least that was a good way to test to see if y'all are paying attention this week, because that was a definite big portion of our week. Dude, for real. LOL, we were in here. Yeah. It felt like one of y'all was in here. I was like over here looking over my shoulder, like, what the hell does he mean? Somebody's in here. That freaked me out at first. Like, bro, what? Liam Neeson's behind me? Don't lie. 85. 80s towards. The call is coming from inside the house. What movie is that from? I think that's isn't that Scream? It sounds like a Scream line, right? Because they're always like calling them like, "What's your favorite movie?" or like, you know, asking them horror movie questions, and then they come kill them. Yo, you know how like all those movies have been coming out and they like are remakes and stuff, and they're only honestly all kind of dog water. The Scream remakes, well, not remakes, but continuations, were actually pretty good so far. It's weird. Like, for the life of me, I cannot stand watching another movie where it's like Nightmare Ends Tonight or whatever. Dollar looking kind of hot on the call side, Bubbas. Morning, fellas and ladies. Good morning, Ace Ventura. Morning, good sir. Above 244. And yes, I am just going every dollar. Below, honestly, I want to say 241.85 for more risky short scalps. Or below 239s. Alright, so I don't really like Netflix. Let's clean up Square real quick. Previous day high, previous day close, previous day open. Which, again, guys, if you have a level overlapping, you don't have to re-add it. If it's that close, like, just delete one. There's no need to sit there and stare at that many levels. Staring at that many levels will sometimes throw you off. You'll be like, what the heck? Which one am I playing? That one doesn't look too bad. Previous day high, previous day open, previous day close, previous day low. Alright, so Boeing doesn't look too bad over 207.60s towards 208.25, but then they have these 208, 209 areas that are just a wall. So that's a big thing on watch. Or if they dip below, their previous day low on watch, 205.90. And poor Baba just keeps falling through the floor. See, they were at 87 when they closed. They're going to be at about 85 when they open. That puts them literally like right here. That puts them way down here. They might as well go test 84.20s first, just to get a good support catch somewhere. I'd honestly see them selling off to at least here, trying to slow down at least a little bit, but they are continuously selling off though. Very nasty fall for them. Coin is not a bad one. I kind of like Coin's positioning. Previous day close could be a good break above. You got previous day high way up here. Previous day low way down here. So you don't really have to rely on pre-market low. So you got a good break below between previous day low and pre-market low to the downside. To the upside, you got previous day close with a bigger time frame level right there. So you got kind of a good break above right there. And if it does have a crazy rally, you have a pretty good target. So I'd sell most in halfway of that range, but you could definitely make it to the top of that again. I don't think I am going to add anything. Let's just make Tesla work, and then we'll see what else is here. Looks like I'll be going at the farther levels. Slight pivot point at whatever the heck this is. 183.10. And then below, okay, yeah, good. All right, cool, cool, cool. All right, list is complete. I'm about to go join that voice chat so everybody can tune in. Let me send this list out to everybody. And when I say this, guys, I am sending this out to multiple servers. I'm mainly sending it out to my group, but there are a couple other groups that have enjoyed some of the lists I've done. So I just send it out to a bunch of people. Let's go to the 5-day 5-minute. Yeah, I have to zoom in. This sucks. I like to try and fit all the levels I can, just so people see like, oh, okay, this is what we're looking at. There we go. That's what I want to see. Oh, nice. BBBot posted. Top Watch is posted. My channel just posted. There's a lot of good posts this morning for anybody who's looking around the server. Yeah, my channel posted, Top Watches posted, and so did BBBot. Make sure to go check those 3 channels out if you are in the Discord. A lot of good information posted in each one today. All right, what are y'all crazy folks saying in here? It is posted in the chat. That's where it gets posted. I don't just do it here. I go post it on Discord as well. Alright, what are y'all crazy folks saying? I gotta catch up. Nightmare on Sesame Street. Good morning, Alexis. I actually have been looking at that a lot, Traveler. You say that. I already kind of like it. I'm just waiting because there's not really any indication that it is going to go down. Pretty much every time it smacks this resistance, though, it's come back down. They've done it 1, 2, 3, pretty much 4 times now. This is the first time where they've smacked it and actually are fighting to get into it again and holding. So actually, NVIDIA, it can slowly start turning back higher, which would freak out a lot of people because I think a lot of people are kind of looking at this going, all right, when can we start shorting it again? But in reality, they're in a pretty good spot again. I would look to see if they get towards the kind of mid 250s. If they get up to 250s, look for better short swing candlesticks is what I'm trying to say. To pop up, but technically you could get one today. What I'd be looking for is a higher open and then have a weak day happen. The first time that happens, you can start to realize like, okay, this is probably a little overbought. When you start to look for a low volume, very small body gapped up day like today could be, we're starting higher, so we'll be starting about in this area right here, so not much higher, but if we get a higher open right here and we, regardless of finishing higher or lower, we have a small volume day, that could indicate some overboughtness. 2, if we do start higher, which is what we're doing, and then push lower, and then break out of this spot here again, about 240, 239.50, that could be the kind of initial starting area for shorts to get back into a trade again on this chart. Let me delete these. These have nothing to do with this chart. But that's what I would look for. That's what I'm looking for. It's not even just what I would look for. That is what I'm looking for. My boy said FSLR. FSLR is super overextended. See, this is what I'm talking about. This is exactly what I was meaning. You have a gapped up small body candle, a gapped up small body candle, a gapped up small body candle, another gapped up small body candle, and look at your volume. It's just died off. This, without having RSI on, I can tell you it started being overbought here, and it's continued being overbought right here. That is an overbought chart without even having to turn RSI or any other indicator on. Good looks. Those both look honestly really, really good. And it's starting lower today. This could be your day that it continues pushing lower. Oh wait, I'm sorry, I'm reading the wrong number. So look for a break of 214.30s. If you can break 214.30s and hold under that, that's a golden level for entries with good risk reward. Good looks though, good looks. I posted on the trade floor as well, still tree sacks, so you don't have to worry about that. Also, the list is literally right here on the screen, so if you don't want to, whatever, you can just screenshot it or type it out, whatever you want. Good morning, King Clips. What's up, Florin? Good morning, Sinful. Mark Milley said, paying attention to meta, inverse, head and shoulder on the daily and closing Google put runners from yesterday. Pretty much pay attention where buyers had control during the day, see where sellers trade. Do I play coin? I chart it here and there. I really don't play it too much, though, to be honest with you. I find this chart to be very annoying. But I do technically have coin levels. You can look above 6302, 6270 area for possible buyer moves. They can also come up here and reject and bring it back down towards this area, which would be a good break below. And if you do get that rally through this area, a very solid area to look for profit taking would be kind of halfway of this range, kind of like where my marker is about right now, like 64 area. And then secondary target could be near that previous day high and bigger time frame level at 6580. It has really good intraday levels today, which is kind of rare. All right, let me put my headset on.
Yo, good morning, everybody.
Good morning, Papa Devin.
They like the data this morning, huh? See if they're going to hold us up here or they're going to fade us right back down.
We had to grind to get here. Yeah, pretty impressive pump. The question is, will it hold? If we do not hold here at 399.50, 399.70, you can expect a retest of 399 where previous day close lines up. All I typed out was what I just said to y'all, by the way. I wasn't typing anything new. You can use other famous... Okay, y'all are still talking about that thing.
All right, still kind of open. We get so far. Bars coming in a little bit on the open. Meta got a little pop. Amazon's coming up to pre-market high.
Be sure to drop a like on the stream if you guys enjoyed some of the pre-market prep. We covered all of these tickers here, just kind of covered what is up for both upside and downside, and we started the stream off with bigger and smaller time frame analysis on SPY. So be sure to drop a like on the stream if you enjoyed the pre-market prep or any of the updates that are going to be coming your way today. Definitely means a lot, so be sure to drop a thumbs up. It only takes a quick second, so please do so.
Meta's trying to hold up. Tesla coming up to pre-market high now. Apple selling off a little bit, battling with that yesterday high. Microsoft trying to hold at pre-market high. XOM trying to hold up. Buy pulling back right to that 399.50, wicking down below, see if it's going to hold. Josh just mentioned all that. Meta wicking down pretty hard as Apple's pulling back. NVIDIA rejected pre-market high pretty hard. This first 10 minutes is going to shake out.
Still having a hold of 399.50. Buyers are definitely still present.
Yeah, they just went down, touched it. Now they're pushing back up, trying to get over that yesterday high again and go test that pre-market high potentially. Bulls coming up towards that pre-market highs. Really wants to hold 400, see if it's going to pop and go towards 401. Microsoft helping us out. Tesla, Amazon, Meta, all pushing higher. Google coming to pre-market high. Looking for this pre-market high to pop. Pretty good volume on the short-term time frame. Still first 5 minutes of the market, so be very careful. But they do look like they're trying to test this level.
Oh yeah, what the heck, Jack? Jack, did you upgrade or did they upgrade? I'm just gonna go look at my own system.
Popping that pre-market high, see if we're going to hold.
Oh, there's a few people with light blue. That means you've been here for over a month.
Oh, sweet.
As a YouTube member. Damn, legend.
I noticed that yesterday. I thought you just changed it, but that's cool.
Yeah, let's see. Is it gonna show me?
Are we going to continue this push here? So far, it looks like yes. Good volume coming in on the short-term time frame. 5 minutes left on this 10-minute candle as we're pushing higher. Amazon really blasting off. Apple trying to get that yesterday high, still needs pre-market high. Meta really getting a blast off, see if it's going to get to 189. Google still haven't got over pre-market high, and Netflix not moving near as much. It's actually coming to the downside. Nvidia is still having a hard time with yesterday high.
Good morning, Cameron. Good morning, Rambo. Glad to have you both in here.
Berg B got a good push off the open, but still below yesterday high. See if we can get that. But it did not hold that pre-market high with about 2 minutes and 20 seconds on this 10-minute candle. But it's still pushing higher. Same with Amazon.
Good call out, Money Lisa. Looks like financials are definitely the only main sector red as well. Out of the top 6-7 sectors, financials are up there. Only one that's red. So it's a good sign that a lot of these sectors are reacting the same to the jobs numbers coming out. Discretionary pushing really well right now. Tech needs to hold over that pre-market high a little better.
Coming up on the last 30 seconds of the 10-minute candle, and we're coming back above that pre-market high. See if we're going to hold up as Amazon's making a new high. Same with Meta. Apple getting closer to that pre-market high. Microsoft still battling. XOM slightly pushing up. Google getting that pre-market high. Nvidia trying to battle at yesterday high again. Berg B still slightly pushing up. Coming up. New 10-minute candle, new high day. Pretty bullish open on that candle. See if it's going to continue.
Yeah, perfectly hitting that 400.60s area. So far, we have just had a hold of 399.50s and retest of 400.60s. Watch over 400.60s or under 399.50s for short-term scalps. Bam. AMD possibly getting the retest. What's up, Satch? Yep, he is correct. AMD is possibly getting the retest on the previous day high. Keep eyes on that for a possible 80% entry move off of 85.77 for AMD. Good eyes. You can also watch SMH, SOXX for double confirmation with semiconductor stocks. You can also see NVIDIA is actually pulling back down, so they're not helping out AMD at all. Netflix also pulled down pretty heavily. They're at yesterday's open right now. Tesla's on fire. Amazon's on fire. I figured just because we literally just looked at the sectors, and that was a straight up chart through the first 10 minutes. Apple pushed a good level. They're rejecting it very well now, though. Perfect timing for SPY as well. Trying to keep that previous day open, previous day high, and the 402 level in sight for everybody just to see on both sides. Morning, Paulie.
Still trying to hold. Came down and retested again, right above the 9 and 400, pushing off on the right now. 2 minutes, still trying to hold the 9. Just needs to pop 460 now. Apple came down and retested yesterday high and pushed up off of it. A couple other things retested pre-market highs and pushed up off of it. Google making a new high. Apple trying to get up there. Stuck in a pretty tight range overall.
I mean, we're like 3 cents off, Braden. I have 85.77 for previous day high, but I mean it's 3 cents, so it's not really that big of a difference. But yeah, pretty good retest spot there. Satchmo called it out. I was just going back over it because it is a good spot. I would keep an eye on semiconductor ETFs though, like SMH. They need to hold today's open. SOXX. They need to hold previous day close, today's open area. SOXS. That one's okay. And Nvidia doesn't have to do the exact same thing as AMD to help it out because we've seen these do opposites and totally do fine. But it would be nice to see them retake their today's open as well.
A lot of stuff popping. Apple popping, Microsoft popping, getting us near that new high. Apple broke that pre-market high, pushing pretty well. Same with Microsoft trying to get up going. So see if we can get this 460. Tesla still moving higher. Popping 460 on SPY with good short-term volume. See if we can keep it holding it up on the smaller or the bigger time frame. Amazon coming up, Microsoft. See if Tesla's going to come up to yesterday high.
Good morning, Jazz. Always happy to see your name pop up. Good morning, JP. Coin giving up PML. Good call out, Zay. Paulie, these streams are only off by a few seconds. You don't have to worry about that here.
Yeah, nice little pop here.
I time checked it yesterday, actually. Yesterday was like 2 seconds off, which I think is the fastest I've ever seen. There would be times where YouTube servers are lagging. It's a little slower than that, but we haven't had that issue all week.
Buy looks like it's going to push 401 here. Microsoft, Amazon, everything pushing higher universally. Looking pretty good. NVIDIA trying to retake that yesterday low. If it pops pre-market high, that could be a nice lagger play. Netflix coming through yesterday high. It could be a lagger at pre-market high. Nice volume, though, coming on the short-term time frame here. As we're pushing 401 and popping straight through that thing. If you already took quick scalps, that's a good spot to lighten up as we're popping through 401. Pretty good move on SPY right there. Kirk B getting that yesterday high. Financials helping us out after being the most down. So that's always nice to see.
Yo, good job, Mel. 52% gain on SPX. Fat boy gains. Love to
Sniper
see it.
gang.
Good job, Isaiah. I see you with a 15% SPY dub. And another 25% SPY dub. I see you. I see you. Don't double dip too quick, man. Be patient. Beautiful, beautiful trade, though. I like your first one a lot, too.
If we can get over 4130 on the short-term time action, it could try to push straight to 402. But so far, this has been an excellent push.
Yo, good job, anybody on AMD that hit high of day. Be sure you're scaling out some of your profits already. Good job, though. Whoever, who was that called that out? I think it was Satch. Yeah, Satch. Shout out to Satch. That was a beautiful call out. I just went over and checked on it. That was all him. I think, yeah, Braden brought it back up again. Good job, guys. Evis. Good stuff, Evis. Yeah, if you brought that up, man, beautiful job. Seriously, that was a really, really clean retest of previous day high. They don't get much cleaner than that. You even got the wicks up, too. You never had to worry about, like, ugly candle closing. Lowering volume. They really gave you everything you could have asked for on that one. And it was after the first 10 minutes. That's another beautiful thing. It wasn't doing this in the first 10 minutes, making it very hard to kind of get like, okay, well, maybe I kind of like it. And it's crazy, too, because a move from here to literally here is crazy because most people are in the mindset of, like, oh, that's coming down more. So whenever that does get a push, it's going to be really, really favorable for anybody's position. Really good stuff.
New 10-minute candle pushing higher on SPY. New highs. Same thing on Microsoft. Apple's close.
And Devin, what else helped out with anybody looking at AMD with anything you and me have been mentioning?
SPY rallying its butt off. Same thing with the Qs.
Exactly. SPY's rallying its ass off right now. It has been all morning. They pushed up right before pre-market start or before market opened. We've been pushing up throughout the first 10 minutes. We had a hold in the next 5 minutes, and ever since then we've just been pushing. Also adding on to the analysis of anybody looking at long plays. So great job. Again, not just looking at a chart by itself, using other charts to help out your chart, to help out your play.
We're really trying to push straight to 402 here, it looks like. I mentioned this a couple times to Josh in private, but I was waiting for the jobs number to come in hot because I had a feeling this was going to happen and get a hot jobs number and boom.
Yeah, and now in the bigger time frames, people have hope again.
Well, now there's not as much pressure on Jay Powell to, potentially have to go a half a point because the job market's starting to take a hit like they need them to. So now there's not as much pressure to, all right, well, maybe we are starting to see some effects on the labor market. Maybe we should keep it 0.25. So this data helped the 0.25 crowd have more argument point versus the 0.5 hike. Yeah, Nvidia's in a super tight range, Mel. Definitely has not participated. Netflix hasn't really participated as well.
All right, so all I shared everybody was that we're hitting a key area. All morning I've been updating SPY on the Discord as well, just so everybody's on the same page. But I said hitting a key area on the SPY daily. Great work on the first breakout. Next is the rest of this blue area above at 402.25 or a pullback to today's open / fill the gap below. Because again, it's not just upside. There are possibilities of downside now that we've reached an important area. So I would assume we either push through this after a little bit more time and hit 402.25, or we're going to reject this. And whether that means we pull back from here instantly or we get a pullback to a reversal that gets a lower high end and then we get a bigger pullback to today's open, regardless of either scenario, that's what is ahead of us. Those are the three scenarios ahead of us. But we are at that important area that I mentioned on the bigger time frame. Again, using the bigger and smaller time frame to help me out as a combined effort.
Shout out to WAG for sniping 2 nice little trades on Amazon. Good stuff, dog. All right.
'What's up, Jackal? 10% done for the day. The one thing I've learned about trading the farther I get in my journey is walking away when you're up. I have an urge to keep trading, but no need to when I hit my goal exactly. And that's why it's best to have kind of like a set plan in front of you, because then you start setting these expectations that are just unrealistic. I should have done this. Oh, I should have been able to do this. Like, no, you shouldn't have. You had a plan. You stuck to what you planned, and you got out. Move on. No need to sit there and muster around in some, made up scenario that didn't happen, just because it was a better scenario. A lot of people always think like, me cutting my losses, it's the hardest thing to do. Like, the hardest thing, honestly, is taking profits, because you get into that part of your chart where let's say you're up like 100%, and you're like, oh, I'll just leave it as a runner. If you're closing that for 15%, that is not a runner. You are screwing yourself. If you let a position come back from 100% all the way down to 15 and you're just now closing it, that is an issue. That is not a runner. That is you being hopeful for way bigger gains. And yeah, you still pulled away 15, but you definitely could have set that a lot farther.
You were definitely gambling that contract a little bit.
Yeah, big time.
Which sometimes, if that's your intention of, getting a free contract on a position and holding it for a couple of days, I mean, sometimes that's not bad. That can definitely be fun and beneficial. So far off the open, nice little push. Like to see us come retest somewhere towards that pre-market high / the 9 on the 10 minutes.
Didn't have to sing it like that. Yeah, it just hit my mind because I've seen a couple people do that, and it's like, yeah, it's a contract that you don't have to pay for anymore because it's, you know, you made enough on your original position that you don't have to worry about that. But that still doesn't make that feasible. You know, just because it pays for it, like it's like, yeah, but that mindset is toxic. That mindset is what will turn you into a loser if your random trading doesn't.
Nvidia's starting to come up towards that pre-market high. See if it pops. Popped in that pre-market high on Nvidia.
I'm just saying the stop should be more tighter. I'm not saying like you still profiting is a dumb thing. No, duh. Of course you made money. It's a great thing. But having a tighter stop, like you should, like I have, like in my example, like if you were up 100% on your last contract, I don't care how much you made on this trade. You shouldn't be selling that contract for 15%, just because it pulled back. Like that should be like a 40%, 50% cut at the very least. You know, anything tighter than that, awesome. But it's just, I don't know. I've seen a few people message or send posts about that with their reviews and stuff. I'm not targeting or singling anybody. I don't even know whose trade I'm thinking of right now. I'm just kind of going back to that. Which, if you guys are in the process of learning runners, awesome. I mean, it's probably the longest process ever because you're gonna get into the process of like, all right, I'm gonna take all my profits at the first target. And then you're like, all right, but I want to practice runners more. So you take all of your profits but one. It's like, all right, that's a great stair-step method to kind of get yourself into learning how you can take things to further targets. Selling at that first target, all of them but one, awesome. Let's say you made, 30%. All right, well, you can risk a pretty good size of, leeway on that last contract now. You can leave it open and have it down 10%. But then it rallies to the next target. Let's say it takes like 2 hours. Awesome. So it's up another 30%. Let's say it's up 60% now. What's your goal? Take profit at that target or just keep holding randomly? No, you shouldn't just keep holding randomly just because you're in the green and it looks like it has good momentum. Take profit at that second target because that's what you planned before getting into the chart, before getting into the play. That's the right thing to do, not, oh, I should have held so I could have made 10, 15, 20% more. Like, who cares about that? Focus on what you planned. Focus on what's in front of you, not what could be. Right now, your positions, yeah, they might only be making you, a little bit here and there. But over time, if you do that exact same thing with more contracts, that is how you make more money. Doing the exact same process. It isn't about holding moves farther. It's finding a good system to put in place and then sticking to it.
We got about 30 seconds to the 30-minute candle on the market. Microsoft still holding up there. Apple, Amazon, Tesla pulled back. Google pulled back. Meta pulled back. XOM. So we're going to see if those are going to come off their retest. Nvidia's still trying to hold over pre-market high. Get that new 30-minute candle.
Wow, really good job on AMD, guys. Y'all had to push all the way through 87. Nvidia even went green. I am a little curious to see how that coin chart played out. If I can get to it. There it is. Popped above and validated after 15 minutes. And I was just perfectly in the middle of its range. Nothing new.
Amazon pushing a new high here.
Damn, Evis, 100% out on AMD. Insane job, dude. I'm honestly very happy to see that because that wasn't a play that I brought up. That was something you guys brought up, like 3 or 4 of you talked about it. I just kind of covered it. But you guys destroyed that trade. Beautiful job on AMD. Seriously. That was probably the trade of the day so far. And that was y'all calling it out. I didn't even find it first. Y'all did. That's what I'm talking about. That's teamwork. Which it's okay if you didn't take the trade. I don't think anybody's going to bully you for that. But you should have at least mentally traded that, because that was a very clean retest trade. I know a lot of you guys are trying to practice retests and 80% entries and stuff. That was the perfect chart to do it on. Yep, Nvidia trying to push that new high above 244s. They got really good momentum so far, alongside AMD pushing that new high. Microsoft's holding up very strong. Meta, even with its dip, is holding pretty well. Hold up, what's Tesla doing? Okay, so they hit that target at 185. If they can hold 182.30s, that'll be a really good push. So look for a retest entry above the 182s on Tesla. 9 EMA as well. If they invalidate, they'll break those levels. Amazon just pushed a new high, wicking down. Apple pushed a new high, wicking down as well. SPY trying to hold on to 400.60. Level of the day, it seems like.
Microsoft, Amazon pushing new high days, Apple coming back up after that wick, Meta coming up towards this previous high day, same with Google. SPY's coming up towards that previous high day as well. Nvidia's still trying to push higher, Netflix trying to get over yesterday high, still under pre-market high. Banks not really helping out as much anymore, coming back down. Would really like to see SPY pop here with volume, as Microsoft and a couple of these are trying to push new highs. But if these wick down and SPY doesn't make a new high, it could be looking good to break that 460 slash the 9s, catching up on the 10-minute to that 460 area. Microsoft, Apple still making new highs. Same with Amazon. See if that's going to help Tesla out. It's not really moving too much. The video's just battling right over pre-market high. All right, 401.30. If it pops, it could go retest this previous intraday high, as Microsoft, Amazon, and Apple seem to be leading the way for us. We got the big two pushing in sync. Wicked off that 4130 area again.
What's up, Tobias?
3 minutes on this 10-minute candle.
I've had the most insane day already. Absolutely insane. I don't even know if we need to know. Sorry to hear that, though, man. Hopefully you get some of your sanity back in here.
Insane in the membrane. Just start flipping tables and yelling about how they identified you wrong. I mean, it'll be all right.
Lost 10% of a smaller portfolio in seconds, then got long on at-the-money options a minute before the news without knowing it was coming. Made 380% or 26 PL on that account within 20 minutes or so. That is a pretty insane day. I could see why you'd say that.
Rejecting pretty hard here. Breaking under that 40160 for a second.
Lower high so far. A break of 400.60s could bring a retest of today's open, maybe. Probably a retest of this spot and then today's open if this breaks. If not, then we just need to look for some more consolidation.
Yeah, we rejected pretty hard off that, but Amazon's still making new highs. Apple and Microsoft didn't really reject too hard. It looks like financials are giving us the hardest time. Tesla not really moving too much. Neither are the comms. Meta's wicking again. Same with Google. We got about 20 seconds left on this 10-minute candle.
So 12% on spy calls. Got out a millisecond before that quick drop. Good job, Taylor. We're still just seeing a battle over 400.60s. We had a pretty good push to them, through them, and a little bit past them. Made it to a very important area on the bigger time frames, rejected, and now since then we've made a lower high from that important area. Now we're going to seek in 400.60s hold, and if not, we will be getting a retest of this first spot here where they kind of held and then pushed higher from, and then today's open. So those are two areas below to look out for. If they do end up holding this and they push new highs, look out for 402 and 402.50s. 402.25 is the top of that bigger area on the bigger time frame.
Breaking through the 460 area, coming down. – Get a little bit of buyers showing up here at the pre-market high.
Looks like they have pulled back under 400.60s. They have gotten the retest of this spot I was telling you about at about 400.30, 400.25. They actually pulled through it. Now they're testing 400 flat. See if we get that retest of today's open.
Meta breaking down under its pre-market high. Tesla's right there. Google's holding up a little bit better. Netflix coming down to pre-market low, and Nvidia lost pre-market high.
Ooh, good job, Mel. 26% on Poots on SPX again. Sniping them, man. Sniping them. Yeah, looks like they kind of started battling this area. They did close under it, though, so they probably will go retest today's open. If we get buyers to show up, that we need to see a retest and rejection of 400.60s for bears to continue taking things lower. A retake of 400.60s, they could definitely try to break this lower high trend they have going.
We got 4 minutes on this 10-minute candle. Back battling at pre-market high. Coming back to the yesterday high on futures, right above yesterday high on SPY.
There goes SPY testing through today's open.
Big rejection coming down through all those levels that Josh mentioned. Meta helped bringing them down. Google, Tesla, the banks, Netflix come down, breaking that pre-market low.
Jesus, the Walton family sold another 261 million worth of Walmart stock. Jesus. That's it? Yeah, right. Just a quarter billion. Something light. Yes, it does, Satchmo. We actually call it the Lee test, just as a joke, because if you go to... I'll just show you. If you go to... if you go to my YouTube, go to channels, go to Leland. Honestly, I'd watch all 5 of these, but the video on my channel that you need to watch is in the live trade series playlist. Oh, it's right there. Where is it at? This one.
What's up, George?
This is the video that will blow your effing mind. And this is honestly what's led to a lot of Leland's biggest gains, is taking this trade. It's exactly what you said, though. It's like an inverted by the dip strat. But yes, that is a thing. We don't really have a name for it, so I just jokingly call it the Lee test, going off of Leland's name and the word retest, because you're basically playing a base that has a break and then a retest underneath, and then that's where you grab your entry, and then it breaks lower, and then you take your profits. That's how it's supposed to work. But it also has a good stop loss system, because right above where you're entering is a great area where bulls will probably take things higher. So it's always a great time to get out of trades in that time period. But that video right there, you should 300% review over and over. That video is mind-blowing. He shows one example that works like perfectly, one that worked really well but wasn't perfect, and then one that didn't work. So he goes over 3 examples for you. But yeah. But that is a thing. That's been a thing pretty much ever since the whole buy the dip strat, which the only reason it's called that is because I suck at names and I don't know what else to call it. But that is essentially what it is you are technically buying the dip. So that's why it's called that. I just don't like to say it too much, because I feel like when you say that, people are like, oh my god, this is the greatest strategy ever, which it is an awesome strat. It's very patient, but you don't see them every day. But yes, the opposite is definitely a thing. And that's also a good way of me seeing, like, okay, I can see you're actually taking time to review information, because to arrive at a question like that, it takes time of actually reviewing charts, taking mental trades, and realizing, like, wait a minute, I can do this to both sides. When you're losing a majority of your profits, we can call that the J test. And my back testing by the dip is probably my favorite strat so far. It's just so easy and stress-free because it plays out so well, and the setup is so clear. It is. It's so clear. That's kind of my favorite part, too. It wasn't even like, oh, this gets big gains. Like, no, it's just like you can see it. It's easy to see. Of course, not easy to see when you're first starting out, but as you start to realize what you're looking for, it becomes way easier. And that's kind of what I give you guys with all of the entry types. It's not just like I want you to think of this as like, oh, I'm about to make a bunch of money. I want you to think of it as like, oh, well, this is an open range breakout, so I should probably enter light, take it to my first target, get out really quick, and then if I get a good retest of that level that it broke out, well, then I can probably take a better, more passive trade there, leave my stop loss slightly under the level, You know, there's always a clear setup, but you only see that after mentally trading it so many times. So definitely take that practice. But good job, Satchmo, for real. Round of applause for Satchmo, everybody. Dude's been working his ass off, clearly. Just the way he's talking and asking questions, I can tell he's been reviewing a ton.
Putting in the work.
Gotta give credit where it's due, Satchmo. I have people who've been here for half a year still asking me what is a 40% entry.
I've said it before, you can always tell who puts in the study when you meet with people and who doesn't.
Some light. What is the name of the video? What video? The video we're talking about? We're talking about buy the dip, but he was asking about reversal. Is there an opposite of the buy the dip? What's up, J Lamp? Sinful. But the buy the dip playlist, and then also this video, which is what he was asking about. The Lee test is what I call it. Short the rip, that'd be a good name for it. We got buy the dip, now you got short the rip. But I like it because it also kind of provides structure for you. It's not just like, oh, find one thing and then enter. Find that one variable, like rising volume. Find that, enter. It's not like that. It's like, all right, find a base, find a low, find a higher low, find a low and a double bottom matching the same low. Then look for that reversal to the upside and try to catch it there. If it comes back down and retest it from the top, awesome. Like, it gives you structure. There's like rules you have to go off of. It's not just like, oh, randomly buy here. So I think that's why I like that the most as well, Satch. Oh, Tobias, nice. All right, let's look at this, guys. I'll bring this one up on the full big screen. This is Tobias's crazy morning. So he said from 10% PNL on a small account to 26% in 2 trades. Trading on this account the day after I ended up red in my bigger one. Missed this bottom indicator since I was still asleep. So when I woke up, I did not want to bet on more upside since I already missed the trade. Went to short here since support seemed to have turned to resistance. Got blasted out of the water in for 35 cents. Horrendous stop loss at 23 cents. Had it set on 30. Okay. Wanted to short here, but missed it. The FOMO got real, but I managed to wait it out, save my day. When we were here, I recognized a potential cup and handle with a break line at 750. So took some at the money calls that expired at U.S. market open, red line. Then out of nothing, the news dropped, and that gave me the conviction to extend my profit margin and hold. Sold at the absolute top since somebody in my community targeted 753.20. From 05 to 180 and 310 on half. Ooh, beautiful work, dude. I'm so happy to see this work for you. And regardless of the news coming out or not, I'm very happy to hear that didn't hurt you. That's a crazy trade, though, dude. Good job.
Got a little over 2 minutes and 30 seconds on the next 30-minute candle.
Still just getting a fight at today's open. Nothing new. 15 minutes later, nothing new.
30-minute candle's actually holding inside the previous candle. About to finish up on that.
Trying to answer your question, Minnie. I'm going through them now. Amazon's kind of holding up. They pulled back, but they're already back up to where they were. And Apple did pull back, but not really crazy. So yeah, pretty much everything except Microsoft, Amazon, and slightly, you could say slightly Apple. But yeah, everything else did pull back, Minnie. Good eye. I didn't even notice that. Oh, you said Amazon right after I found it. Or you said it before it, but I didn't read it.
Got the new 30-minute candle.
Quick question about my trade. I entered long at about 10 a.m. All right, hold up. So it'd be about 9 a.m. my time, right? So that candle, right? Should I have gotten out after the increase in selling volume at 10:05 candle? I did not think so because they held level at 400.60s. No, I wouldn't have cut here. I would have probably held this candle as well. I think one thing that would have scared me in this candle, though, wasn't the candle or where it's holding or the size of it. The wick even kind of plays in your favor there. The thing that would got me is that the rise in volume happened. It's still rejecting as a lower high. Because remember, you got to remember, you're still under this high. They were rejecting that as a lower high, had rising volume, but didn't really break anything to the downside. That is one thing that would push me out of that trade, but I could see why you said, oh, I wanted to wait till it actually broke the level, which is totally fine. I think that's a good spot to cut. That is the one thing that stuck out to me, though, is this isn't your first time up here. This is the retest. So this should have low volume on this candle. It didn't, though. It had rising volume. If this would have been a green candle and had that volume, this would have probably launched. But you had a higher open, and then it pushed lower than that previous candle. Tested both sides, pretty much just really getting its footing. A lot of the time when you see wicks on both sides, it's just the candle getting its footing. And you'll notice this on a lot of candles that are on the candle before the rejection or the reversal. And that's because a lot of the time, before reversing or before rejecting for a complete reversal to the downside, you get that footing looking where they kind of have a wick on the top side and the downside to just say, hey, this is where we are for now. Once we get out of this range, we can start to push further at a faster rate. However you want to say that. I don't know if you answered this question in the past, but is there a reason why you do not trade futures? Only asking because I am curious, that's all. Seems easier / better than options in my opinion because Greeks like theta and delta affect the price of the option. I wouldn't say it's easier in any way, shape, or form, and I don't trade futures, but Devin does. The other speaker in here, Nerdy Bicep, does trade futures.
Yep, almost every single day.
Devin, would you say they are easier than options, or no? You'd say it's just another challenge.
It's the same. The only thing that's easier is you can calculate the risk a little bit better, but it's still the same level, it's the same system, the same everything. Besides, yeah, you can calculate your risk a little bit better because so far SPY's held a higher low and coming back up. Plus, when you're using a smaller account, options give you like that IV and stuff when you're selling into those levels. That's like a nice little bonus because that juices up your contract, gives you a couple extra dollars. You don't get any of that excitement on futures. SPY's coming up pretty good here. It's not if you're a trader, it's not hard at all, man. Like if you already have a good system in place, anyone can do it. It's not hard, especially if you have decent risk management. They're all a little bit different, but all essentially the same. But yeah, if you're already a profitable trader, it's pretty easy to get funded. Yeah, same but different. For me, the biggest thing is being able to catch the 830 numbers. Like I made I think it was like 450, $500 on the 830 pump this morning. And, I sat there for a while and watched, that data come out and wasn't able to trade it. And, found a way to trade it through futures. And I was like, all right, yeah, futures are sweet. So that's really why I like futures, is be able to catch those 830 numbers. Because I can't do that with SPY contracts.
Here's the
I
information.
see them eventually making SPY 24 hours a day as well. Coming up, trying to get over that 460 again.
Here's the information on the non-farm data payroll coming out tomorrow. And this is just a guideline. I wouldn't say this is 100% accurate, but it is a good guideline to go off of. If it comes in at more than 500K, the S&P is down at least 3%. 215 to 500K down to 2 to 3%, so on and so on. As you guys can see, less than 0, we could be up as much as 2%, sometimes more. But it's just good data to have as a guideline. So NFP again tomorrow, very, very important.
And a lot of times, if you are trying to play those numbers, it isn't as important about the number as it is the reaction on the chart. Because sometimes they'll rip it up before they drop it down, and vice versa. So you really just have to play the chart.
I said SPY retook 400.60s. Let's see if buyers can ever break this lowering high trend. They just keep seeming to come up to this point. They just keep rejecting. Yo, good job, Leo, on your SPY scalp gains. Good stuff.
SPY coming up pretty well over the 460. Just got to pop that previous intraday high.
Tobias, I feel that. There's also a lot lower volume after hours. People always think like they'll get filled as easy as if they trade during hours. Like, it's not as easy to get filled. You have to be selling at the right time, buying at the right time, momentum wise.
Yeah, I don't trade too much of the overnight action ever. There's the occasional setup that's worth waking up for the 4 a.m. open, but usually it's just 8:30 numbers. Then on the open.
If you like this stream, press like on the stream. Oh, that's good marketing, Sinful. If you like this stream, press like on the stream. Makes sense to me. Who is ready for tomorrow? I don't think y'all are ready for tomorrow.
All day Friday?
I just don't think they're ready.
I don't think they're ready either. There's not enough likes for them to be ready. So as long as SPY holds the 460 area, that should help push. That's also the 9 on the 10 minute is about the same area. So that 460 area is looking pretty good. We got about a minute 20 on this next 10-minute candle. So see if we're going to open above the 9 in the 460 area and push that previous intraday high. If not, looking to reject and come down and break 399.71. And if we don't do that, we're just going to be forming that range. You got enough to share, Sand Dollar? You got to bring it for the whole, for everybody. The new candle still trying to hold this area.
Yep, just still kind of holding over 400.60s. Nothing new yet. Just seeing if we can break this lowering high trend. Oh, glad you liked the stream, Cameron. Have a great one, man. I mean, I'm sure there's some fake ones out there, Sheriff. The one that Devin uses isn't, though.
Yeah, Sheriff, most of them pay money. You can't really openly scam people like that, man. Yeah, most of them are legit.
Pretty good retest by Apple to the upside. Amazon making a new high. Tesla making, or not making a new high, but pushing higher from where they currently are. Meta needs to get above 187s again. Microsoft also made a new high of day. Google's doing really well in their retest higher, kind of like Apple. AMD, Nvidia just kind of chilling, and so is Netflix. Really good push by Microsoft and Google, though. Or Amazon. What the hell am I saying? Devin, you can share which one you're using to share if you want. So why does the 935 candle not signal reversal? Who said it doesn't?
Yeah, I'll share it, Sheriff. I just don't like promoting stuff that doesn't give me like a kickback or anything like that. But I use Top Step. They're pretty legit. So if you and you know the criteria when I look for any of these, because some of them run like promos on like how much you can cash out like without commission and stuff, so you can jump back and forth. You don't have to be faithful to any one of them. But I'm using the Top Step right now. But you want 90-10 commission. If they're trying to get any more than 10%, then you don't want to use that one because you can find 90-10 really easy. So and you know after a while you can even negotiate 95.5 or 93.7 with some of them if you want. But 90-10 is really easy. That's like basics industry standard.
All right, King Carnage. What I was gonna follow up with is that why I asked who said it's not, because I don't think I have. I've just said that a hold of 400.60s can lead to a good push, but you really need to see this lowering high trend break, which actually that candle didn't break, it rejected. So if anything, this causes for a potential slowdown, which you kind of have. We haven't really gone anywhere. We're just still here. So it's not like that's been invalidated yet. Every candle's different too. It's all about positioning and what kind of candle do you have in front of you. This candle's kind of against resistance and on top of support. This candle's being squeezed on both sides right now. You have a little bit of a lowering volume green push. You have another lowering volume green push so far. There really isn't anything going on yet. What you really need to see is a new push over today's high, about right here, whatever that is, 400.20, to really kind of say, hey, that invalidates that. To validate this potential reversal candle, what do they need to do? They need to break support, right? So it's not always just about like, oh, why isn't it reversing, or why isn't it, going up or down because this is that candle. It's also about positioning and where they're at. So try to do that. Try to go through the chart and tell the story of the chart. Like, okay, this is what this candle is. This is the kind of volume it had based on where it was at on the chart. This is a good sign for blah, 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 so on and so on. And do that for the entire chart. I do it every day in a stream. It's not even just for you guys. It's also to help me. Just kind of tell the story of the chart, what's going on up until this point. So the candle indicates them. You look for follow-up by support. Exactly. Because it's not just about finding a good pattern. It's about finding a good pattern with good positioning. So I wouldn't want to just find a random hammer or, whatever down here or like right here in the middle of the chart. I'd want to find it at support or against resistance, something that's there, that's concrete. Then you're like, okay, well, now I have a buyer candle at support. Now I know that this is a lot better than just finding a candle like that by itself, and vice versa. Because right now it's like, yeah, that's not really that strong of a candle, but it's also not breaking anything. They're holding a good level. So if anything, this is kind of like a 50-50 candle. This isn't really anything. This really isn't anything. It's a very risky test of potentially breaking this lowering high trend. because we've gone up here once with a good push, rejected. Try to do it again, couldn't get it on the second go. So we're really kind of fighting these highs right here. Kind of fighting the meat of the highs right there to the meat of the highs right here. Kind of fighting to get over that. So right now all you're seeing is kind of a retest of that. We need to see a push over that for bulls to really say, hey, we're stepping in again. Also, why it's so important to go through your weights. You know that, okay, well, SPY can definitely push higher if Apple pushes 154.60, if Amazon continues making new highs like they are right now, if Tesla can continue holding 182s and continue to build off of that, that can help SPY. If a break of that will hurt SPY. Meta needs to keep holding 186.85, the 187 range we've been talking about all morning. Microsoft needs to continue making new highs. Google needs to make a new high. AMD's doing pretty good actually for SPY. So is Nvidia as long as they hold 241.80s. And Netflix, they need to push back through 310 and get back up to those higher levels. That's why it's so important to go through your weights. Also, your sectors, you know, just going, because these are the weights. These are the weights that we're talking about. It's like, okay, well, tech needs to definitely make this new high. And if so, that can help give SPY that extra boost to make that new high. So it's also not just pattern with positioning. It's also like, all right, well, what are the weights are doing when you're looking at SPY? Because right now, you should be coming to the conclusion that, okay, well, a lot of charts that have been pushing are against resistance of either a high of day or a very important bigger time frame level, or you have a couple laggards like Netflix who are down in the dirt and not really breaking anything significant yet, but they're down in the dirt. If they were to break lower, that's not going to help us. If we were to get a rally in the market, Netflix has a better chance of rallying back up. So there's a bunch of things to think about when you're looking through this. That's why I start you off slow. I start you with just charting the levels. Then we talk about candlestick patterns more and what they can do to help you for going up and going down. Then we kind of start talking about the weights a little bit more, sectors a little bit more, and it starts to combine all into one big process of like, okay, well, this is what I need to look at to kind of get better awareness of what's going on around me. And that's all while being in a news-driven market where we're constantly having to look out for news, which we haven't always been in a news-driven market. That's just this past year and a half or so that we've been in one. You know, so we'll probably be in it for a little while longer. But it's just a lot to think about. It's a lot of variables.
Looks like we're putting a lower high in.
No problem, Carnage. But as you can see, though, it's not just, you know, one thing. It's a lot. That's why you always see me draw this picture. We'll always sit here and we'll draw this picture like let's say price is in this huge channel. Let's say this is like the daily time frame. Price is in this big channel, right? See a price kind of doing this little number here. It's not letting me draw how I want to. Where am I going to want to find bullish patterns? I'm going to want to find them at the bottom of this trend because there's a lot more room to the upside of that channel, right? And this is how you should view all price action, regardless of it being in a channel, regardless of it just breaking a level. You know, it doesn't matter what pattern it's in or if it's in one at all. It's all about positioning. It's all about finding these bullish patterns near the supports that you're aware of and looking for that upside action with risk very low just underneath where you're currently purchasing at your position, whether you're buying calls at that support or you're buying puts at this resistance with the stop loss just above, it doesn't matter. That's going to give you good risk reward plays. It's just finding good patterns with positioning, if that makes sense. So you're going to want to be finding good bullish patterns near the bottom or the supports, and you're going to want to find good bearish rejections and signals near the tops or resistances of whatever you're inside of. And that's just to give you kind of good picture of what you should be looking for. I'm going to have to delete a ton of these. Looks like we're still just getting another lower high still. Looking for a break of 400.60s. Could lead to another retest of whatever this is again. 400.30. A break of 400.30 will bring a retest of 399.70 to bring us back to low of day. How exciting.
I wouldn't surprise if we get a higher low here, and then they pop it back up, make this range tighter.
See you later, Boo Rock. Have a great rest of your day, man.
Take it easy, B-Rock.
Yes, I'll keep working smarter. Apple possible lead test. Yes, I do like that. I like that it has that high. I like the rejection of that same high. So you want to look for two things: an aggressive entry, which is the first time it exits this area, or the more passive entry where it comes back up and either rejects this or a fib of that area. Which from there, I would probably just do a fib from here to here. If it comes back up, or let's say it goes lower than this, Knox. So let's say this move goes to like here. Do a fib from the high to the low of that move. And then you want to look for that move to bounce near this area or this area. And you can start looking for rejections here or here. And that's where you can get a better play at for a passive play. There is a good opportunity here, but it's very early. Because the only indication you have is, oh, well, we've been up here once and now we've rejected it a second time. So that's why I like it. You know, that's the only indication you have here now. So that's why that's aggressive compared to the more passive scenario that I just showed you. Good eye though. I do like that potential. Boo Rock.
Just coming right down through pre-market high. See if we're going to finally take out yesterday high. Potentially getting that higher low.
Another one.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll have a... we already do have a squeeze going on. It's a perfect squeeze.
Well, squeeze.
Pretty much between this and this. It's a little too early to say who has that. Boo Boo. But I do like where your head's at. I will give you that. So instantly, I see this point where we reverse, and it makes me just instantly want to grab this as like a zone. And you can see we actually are up against this and rejecting it, as well as the previous highs. So I do like this is the second time that we're here. And I do like this for short entries. It should be good as long as this... hold up. Let's turn that setting off so I can actually do what I need to do. You basically need to watch between here, that high right there, and then the high of this move here. Between that's where price can invalidate this bearish move. So that needs, your stop line needs to be somewhere between there is what I'm saying. But I do like this for a potential reversal back towards the 90 MA and 180 area, because it's kind of really an area between this start of this gap fill and this level here that it wants to go retest if it does come back down further. But I do like that a lot. But I do like that a lot. Like I said, I think it's still a little bit early. just because you do have one rejection and then a second possible rejection. But this is an indecisive candle. If they have a higher open tomorrow, this could be invalidated all just in tomorrow. So you're really kind of relying on non-farm payroll data tomorrow to see if this is going to affect you or not, because that could be the thing that has them have a higher open or lower open. So I like the play by itself, but with news coming out tomorrow, I don't think it's anything more than 50-50. But I do like the pattern with positioning that we have so far. Also, it's not fair to say because it's only 10 o'clock. It's only been an hour and a half since the market opened. So still have a lot of time left there. But good looks, though. I like that chart. I like where your head's at, too. You're looking for a good spot to get into that position. That has really good risk reward there. Hey, made 34% on SPX puts on the channels callouts. Hey, good stuff, Tobias.
Tested that yesterday high perfectly. Coming down under that yesterday low. See if we're going to break these wicks now.
Pretty much waiting on a break of 399.50s or these lower highs that we're stuck under.
so far trying to hold those previous intraday lows, coming back above yesterday high. Not too much increasing volume. Looks like we're going to be getting that range.
Still just seeing who has control. Still just getting a test 399.50s. A break under this can bring a lower test of 399, 398.40, and possibly 397.50s. A hold to this area can bring another bounce towards 400.60s. We are still under this lowering high trend. Yep, the McDonald's pattern. You're right. It is a McDonald's logo. You know, I actually had a meme of this. I'll go find it for you. I had a meme of this a long time ago. It was just the McDonald's logo. But it was like a chart. I shall find it. Oh, I found it. I'm selling it. See how close it is to this chart. That's pretty close. You got that high there, rejection on the lower high, rejection on the lower high. Got the little dip there in between, got the little dip there in between. And decisive as ever on the 30-minute. How's everyone in stream doing so far? Been kind of a light week this week. We've had some good moves here and there, but we've been trying to keep y'all updated really well, as well as different sectors, different ideas. We've had a bunch of really good ideas. No bot alerts today, but still. I think it's like 7 out of 9 or 6 out of 8 this week. It's a pretty good week for that thing.
Looks like a McDonald's sign right now. JP stock, I'm gonna go get some PRs. I want to see a deadlift about 600. I'll probably just go jump some rope here after the market real quick. What did I miss?
Still just getting a fight at 400 or sorry, 399.50. Jesus, someone in chat just said the guy on CNBC just had 3 espressos and washed them down with a Red Bull.
That's Leland.
Yeah, that is Leland. Maybe without the coffee, I don't know. But yeah, that's definitely
But
some
Leland
CNBC
chases
shit.
his Red Bull with a Red Bull.
Simple said jump rope. You have steel reinforced floors.
No, go outside or to the gym.
Devin jumping rope has caused 3 train derailments. Oh my god, that's good.
Jesus.
Red Bull number 2 of the day.
See, that's what I'm talking about. It's not even lunchtime. He's 300 milligrams of caffeine deep. Or more. What's a Red Bull? Aren't those like 300 a piece?
Just remember, guys, if you're in bad health, you're probably still going to live longer than Leland. Sentinel finishing a G Fuel all by himself, the entire container.
Bunch of caffeine junkies. Taylor wakes up at like 6 in the morning. She starts drinking Monsters.
What?
Mm-hmm.
God. Built different.
Mm-hmm.
That's why she types faster than me.
Eat that on the Monster.
Gonna dip. Catch everyone tomorrow. See you later, Satch.
See you, man. Be safe. Have a good rest of your day.
I'm gonna work on that video you told me about. Taylor said, "Don't drag me into this," in all caps.
So far, we're getting that higher low put in, but can we pop the top on this thing?
No, but you never have to take it again. One time is all you need with the right person, or the right people in the right place.
She said I take a 400 milligram scoop of pre-workout first. Thank you very much. God. Y'all are built different. Leland said, yeah, see, Noxton and Taylor are the real psychopaths. Yeah, everyone takes it differently. I used to be able to take a lot of caffeine. Now I just like try to avoid it. I used to start my day with 8 shots of espresso all at once at 4 a.m. back when I was in restaurant management. Jesus Christ. Keyword start. Sometimes I fall asleep in math class, so I drink a Monster and then afterwards my pre-workout before the gym. Oh my God. Cocaine is a dietary supplement. Facts.
If anyone in here remembers the good days of pre-workout, that's the only time I ever like pre-workout is when I had the 1,3-dimethylene in it. And that shit, if you know anything about it, it's not very good for you because, yeah. But that's the only time I really like that shit. Yeah. I used to work, yeah, like the old C4 and stuff. You know how many like people were cracked out on like the old diet pills? I used to work at GNC, and me and all my friends worked at GNC, and we used to sell those old 1,3-dimethylene diet pills like Hydroxycut and Super HD and stuff. Moms would be coming in twice, 3 times a month, getting 2, 3 bottles of them because they're just popping 1,3-dimethylene. It was crazy.
All right,
It
I'm thinking we need to move away from this topic of discussion.
for sure.
Fuck, how we got to there.
But it just kind of stems with caffeine addiction. 1,3-dimethylene is one of those caffeine addiction supplements. It's banned now. They took it out of everything. Am I gonna reject here?
The financials are getting slammed today. Down 1.5%. That's by far the biggest mover on the market today. Next closest is tech sector. They're only up about 1%. Completely opposite directions, too. New low of day made as I was saying that. Good eye, D-Touch. He pointed that out in the chat saying JP Morgan Chase and XLF are getting slammed. Shared the daily time frame, and those do not look pretty. They had one of those 50-50 candles right under a good level. Did not get the higher open, got the lower open, giving sellers some momentum to start with, and they definitely took that momentum and kept going. 34.40, wow. Yeah, XLF, definitely the weakest puppy today. Not helping out SPY. Let's see what Tech's doing. Tech's squeezing. They're not going anywhere. Here before long, though, we will be getting some movers. Question is what direction. I'm starting to think downside because all you have, unless Tech breaks out to the upside, because a lot of these are really just squeezing and just aren't really going anywhere. But you have Tech holding up pretty well. If they were to break down and financials are still holding the way they are, maybe even continues lower, that could definitely bring SPY down a lot more. So I would look for Tech momentum to either slow down or pick up to really decide this trend right now. Because you kind of have something pulling it down, and then you have everything else just kind of holding the footing. And it's, of course, at the perfect area at 399.50. So you're really waiting to see what Tech does right now. With the combination of a couple other sectors here and there, like tech or discretionary comms, maybe even healthcare, but that's kind of what everyone's waiting on right now. Does Tech continue going higher or not? Does financials keep selling? Hopefully that makes sense to everybody.
SPY still bet on it. Those yesterday highs.
Oh, it's our fault. Sorry about that, Taylor. Still in my meta put, considering to cut soon. Back above 90 MA and current day open. Doesn't suit well, but no reason to cut just yet as long as lower high withstands. Done trading. We scrapping that 0 of days since a red day and placing a 1. Let's get to 10 this time. That's what I love to see, Tobias. That's the energy. Name the pattern on XLF daily. Like this pattern, or you're just saying from the last 2 days? Just to be certain, because my boy Daffy got faked out. Unless you're talking about this candle. Honestly, I see a bearish kicker. And then you have not really a long-legged doji, but in the same sense, it's the same type of analysis. A long-legged small body candle, which essentially means 50-50. But it's not really holding anything important. If anything, it's breaking really good support. So it's probably a little bit just a hair more bearish than anything. Pretty good volume, too. And then, honestly, the lower open today definitely adds on to this long wick small body candle. Because essentially, every time you look for those... I'll show you. Like a long-legged doji would be like this. Essentially, when you get candles like this or that have really, really small bodies. I know, amazing drawing. Or have small bodies. The big thing to look for is, one, does it have a lot of volume? Because if it has a lot of volume, that makes it a lot more special. Lower volume, not as special. This had pretty good volume in comparison to the size of this candle. Those almost had the same amount of volume. So there's definitely something up with that candle. So pretty much your next day's analysis is like, all right, is it opening lower? Or is it opening higher? And depending on how and where it opens, you play it a couple different ways. Let's say it opens higher than its previous day's open and close, but not higher than the high. Then you look for a good move to that high to either reject or to push through. So you could have a retest sit on top of it and push off of it, and vice versa. You know, if you get that lower open, and let's say it does open lower outside of that range. All right, well, you're looking to either go to that next level, or you're looking for a continued rejection to go to that next level, which they could also invalidate and push it back towards the inside of that range, and then you have another inside candle, and then you're playing pretty much day one analysis on that again. I know, amazing drawings.
Looks like we're rejecting here a little bit. See if we're going to take out this previous low.
And even after all that talking and reading y'all's comments and stuff, we're still just here fighting 399.50. Doji sandwich. A doji after a large trending candle like that is such a great setup. Like Bueller just explained, the next candle's open is key and will give high probability direction. Ooh. That is right, guys. Bigelow is probably one of the coolest like swing trading YouTubers I think I've ever found on YouTube. Let's go find him. I think it's with a PH. This guy is pretty cool. Y'all should check this channel out. And it's crazy because this is kind of like how I like to swing trade. I don't use as many EMAs as he does, and I honestly don't like to rely on EMAs at all. I really do like to just focus on patterns with good positioning, like candlestick patterns. He kind of does the same thing. He looks for candlestick patterns. He looks for good pushes with momentum above certain EMAs, you know. So it's not hard to kind of watch his videos because it's very similar to how we already trade. But I would check out a lot of his content. It's very interesting. The concepts he uses. Again, it's just trading candlestick patterns with EMAs is how he does it. But this is one of the coolest swing trading channels I think I've ever bumped into. I don't even really know him at all, so it's not like I get paid to promote him right now. But this is by far one of the coolest channels I think I've ever actually paid attention to for longer than just a couple videos. And it's very hard for me to watch other YouTubers because a lot of what they say just kind of goes in one ear and out the other because they don't really have any meat information inside of it. It's just like the trimmings. They never show you the best part of it or how to do certain things. This guy gives you some really good know-how, and they also have some really long videos. Like you see, these two are over an hour. Really long videos where they cover like all kinds of stuff, like patterns, where to enter, where to exit, signs, different indications, all that good stuff. But that's a channel I would definitely check out. I like that one a lot.
Yeah. It's got a pretty cool name.
Yeah, his last name's pretty cool. Bigelow.
That's his last name. That's even cooler. But that's his alias.
I think he has a book too. I haven't read it, but I have heard really good things about it from people that I do know. SPY looking to break a really important support here. 399.50's hold as resistance here. You guys will be seeing a farther drop down to 399, possibly 398.40, and a break under both of those areas can bring a test of 397.50. So we'll pay attention to that. But you do still have your lower highs intact. No break of that trend. But we have gotten a break of support. So sellers do seem to be stepping in a little bit now compared to previous breakouts and movements and holds of the support. Pretty good volume on that candle.
Yeah, 10-minute had pretty good seller volume.
Who then says he does. It's very short and to the point of the most powerful candlestick patterns. I will link in Trade Floor. Bet. So he's gonna link that video in Trade Floor. I think you can link here too, Leland. I'm not sure though. Which we were already kind of trading candlestick patterns before we even knew that guy existed. But then I saw some of how he did it, and I was like, dude, this is powerful. Because I already knew candlestick patterns were very powerful and like just certain things, but he really kind of threw it into perspective when he added on those EMAs and just kind of added that as like a double confirmation kind of thing. And it makes you feel like you're trading a more safe system. You get less signals out of it, but you get more powerful signals out of it. That'd be crazy if he saw this part of the stream. It was like, damn, he shouted me out. I can't believe he only has
Everybody
20.
link 'em.
He only has 20K on YouTube. That blows my mind. Like in my mind, that guy has like hundreds of thousands of subscribers. You know, it's just like, I don't know. That's an OG, and plus he's been in the market for like 25, 30 plus years. Like, that's a lot of freaking time. It's a lot of experience in the markets. Netflix below previous day low, good call out mini. And yeah, Leland just linked it right there.
We've came up and rejected the yesterday high again. See if we're going to make a new low and keep coming down.
Not looking good for bulls as long as 399.50s hold as resistance. SPY 5 minute. If this does not hold, you will be seeing 399 tested. A break under 399, you have 398.40, and then 397.50 is the next level. So pretty good drop. And now remember, we have a pretty good amount of consolidation now, right? The range of consolidation is between about $3.99 to about $400, $150. So that's about $2.50. Split that in half, got about $1.75. So that means from here, we have about $1.75 of room from the consolidation. So that'd make what? That'd be about $3.98 flat. Be a little under $3.98. Pretty close to that $3.97.50 we're talking about, though. Take your range of consolidation divided by 2, and that should be the distance that you at least go on any breakout you have to that direction. You can add that to both sides. That's also how you get your expected move. Just divide the number by 2, split it on both sides. Still getting a rejection of 399.50s. Could be really good short setups here as long as they hold under this blue area here that my cursor's on. For real, combining some styles together as long as you know what you're looking at is super powerful. Adding the BB system and psychology to your already existing experience has and can be the difference maker in my opinion. Sorry, I was reading that like I can't read English. 80% entry settings up on SPY. Looks like it, Justin. God, I got the hiccups though. Mayonnaise.
Coming down, making that new low.
New low of day, they wicked up instantly. Very hesitant on the seller move. Still got 3 minutes in this 5-minute candle. Let me turn on that open high-low setting on again before I forget to do that later. Previous day close is the next level at 399. Previous day opens the next level at 398.40. Got about a minute left in this candle. Still looking good for sellers to the downside. Here they come.
See if they take out 399.
Ten seconds left in this candle. They're still holding lower.
A new 10-minute candle, trying to hold low a day. See if it's going to keep pushing down through 399.
Let's see what the weights are doing. Apple's holding under the 9 EMA, but no push under any really significant level. Amazon got a good bounce. They're actually holding higher now from 9 EMA. Tesla's still, honestly, just kind of squeezing. Hasn't really moved lower or popped from this lowering high trend either. So keep an eye on Tesla for bigger movement soon. Same for Meta. They're still just kind of squeezing. Microsoft did break lower and held under the 9 EMA, but they're just kind of chilling to the right from that low. They haven't really broken lower from that yet. Google also getting a nice pop. AMD getting a nice higher low, stepping in as they're trying to pop towards high of day again. Nvidia still squeezing as well. They're under their lowering high trend. And Netflix really just kind of in their own world, dropping through the floor. Ah, look at that retest too. The retest was so clean. On previous day open in that bigger time frame level at 308.80s. Very clean right there. With 9 EMA synced up as well. Very, very clean.
Not too much steam to the downside here. Ideally, when it's coming down, you want to see it come down a little bit faster. So it's just a slow grind down.
Yeah, you got good seller candles. It's just very weak volume. At a good spot too. Breaking previous day high is significant. I would think a flush to 399 is inevitable. Though they are only 10 cents off. It's not the end of the world. Might be getting your better retest entry here under 399.50 still. You have 2 minutes left in this candle. Just under 2 minutes. Got about a minute and 15 left on this candle. Looks to still be rejecting under 399.50. That might be it for you, Rambo. It's different for everybody. I just did it on my phone and it was only 3 seconds behind. So it's different for everybody. It's also area, I guess, too. Some people might be closer to a YouTube server than me. I might be farther than you, blah, blah, blah. So on and so on. I've had a few other people test it as well. We get different times. They all seem to be under 10 seconds, though. I had a few people test and they had like 6 seconds. Some had 8, some had 7. So it seems to be off for different areas. Still rejecting 399.50s. They are also not making very confident new lows under the previous day high. Perfect retest of the 9 EMA and 399.50. I've noticed wired connections about 2-second lag, Wi-Fi about 10-second. Alright, let's do this then. I think this messes up something though. I think I have to wait to do it till next stream. Next stream we'll try it out. I'll do 0 latency, which right now I have it on. Oh wait, I can do it here. Never mind. Oh yeah, I can't do it to the next stream. We'll do ultra low latency tomorrow. We'll try that out. Ten minutes still weak. 30 minutes still weak. They're rejecting a good fib from that drop. I think you're about to see the start of a reversal to the downside from here if they don't get over this blue area here very soon. See you later, Deep. Yeah, the only trade type that would mess up is like a scalp, but a scalp you shouldn't be following someone on a scalp anyway. A scalp is something where you have no hesitation, you have full control of the trade, you understand where you're getting in, where you're getting out, regardless of it being good or bad. So it's kind of depending on that. Buyers seem to actually be showing up, finally. We'll see if they crack over 399.70s. If they can, they have a good chance of pushing higher. They really need to push above today's open, which is 399.76. If you want an exact cent level. 399.76. Today's open. Pretty good hold above the 399.50 so far. If they can get a good push here, another couple cents. They're getting very close to the end of this candle.
If Apple and Microsoft break their high days, definitely could help on the recovery.
Still fighting over this 9 EMA. Didn't close over it on the last 5-minute candle. This 5-minute candle is just bouncing all around it right now. Still rejecting today's open as well. Rejection of this level could definitely bring another leg down to at least test low of day. A break over this could definitely bring a good test to where we first pumped to, which would be about 400.60s. I'll also be pretty interested in see how we react to this spot here, since we had a pretty good reversal from this spot on top and rejected about 400. 400 was a psychological area to watch out for, so watch out for that as well. It's also good to go through the weights, see how they're doing. Apple still hasn't pushed a new high, so that's not helping anything. Amazon also rejecting. Tesla moving to the lower part of their squeeze. Meta also rejecting. Microsoft had a really good push just now, but they're finally getting a slight seller reaction. Makes sense. Not really hurting or helping anything. Google, very small movement. AMD, very small movement. Nvidia, small movement. Netflix rejecting, almost testing low of day again. It honestly looks like a lot of things are waiting for tech, like I said earlier. Because tech's still squeezing. This will be kind of the decider for me. Here we come. Give us that downside move to 399. Give us a break of 399. Give us that test at 398.40. If not, then buyers will push us through today's open. Darcy blows, testing today's low.
Picking up a little more steam on this rejection with 4 minutes left on the 30-minute candle.
Ooh, Daffy, good catch on the spy put. Healthcare squeezing, discretionary squeezing. Comms made a new low. Financials are still just so weak. When I said that earlier, that was at 34.44. They dropped another 20 cents from there, which doesn't sound like a lot, but that is a lot on that chart. Industrials dropped more. Staples are still slowing down. Base moved lower. Utilities are catching back, moving higher. Energy also moving lower. There's more weakness than strength so far. The previous day high rejection was so clean. 100%, dude. So clean. At least for quick scalps it was so far. And 9 EMA rejection. Not even... Like, always forget about that because we're looking at levels and everything more, but still very clean rejection, too. Not crazy movement yet, but still very clean. Today, though, all we've seen is a good push in pre-market above previous day high. That's kind of where we started out this morning. Got a good pump from it. Got a little quick 3-4 bar play in just about. Made it to about 401.20s, which if you guys pay attention to the bigger time frames, that's kind of right where we were looking at from the bigger time frame analysis. I said we're most likely headed to at least the middle part of this candle, to the golden pocket of it, which is right here. Also combining our 401.50 level from the bigger time frame, which I think is just a halfway point for 406.70 and 396.30s. But overall, that is where we got our first pump up to, and then afterwards, we ended up getting a good lower high, a push down lower to test that previous day high. And just now, we got a push through it, a retest underneath, and now a continuation lower. So a really good push by bears here recently. They need to get some more volume and some more confident pushing lower to really show, hey, bears are present. But overall, a really good push by the overall move. I would say we end up in between this range to some extent today, which is kind of like no duh. But overall, nobody has a clue where they're going to hold it lower or higher at the end of today, because tomorrow you have non-farm data coming out, and that'll be very important, which we'll go over that as well tomorrow morning. But hopefully you guys had a good stream today. I hope you guys enjoyed part of the updates, some of the information. Today was still a very successful day on the TA and the list. It was just a little bit slow, which I think that was kind of the story for a lot of days these past 2 weeks. But overall, still was a great day. Hope you guys enjoyed the stream today. Be sure to drop a like on the stream. Click the link in the bio to join the Discord for more updates, more information, more engaging with the community itself. But I'll see you guys later on. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you.